What up and welcome back. So, okay. So let me stop being dramatic, because I'm being dramatic already and we haven't even started. But, yo, I don't even know how to start, because this is something I said that I was never going to do ever again. So Hourglass has been off my radar for, I gotta say, at least, okay, so they dropped off my radar because there's no way to put this delicately, but Hourglass is for white people. There, I've said it. And then a few years ago, they came out with that foundation, the liquid foundation, and we were like, oh, maybe they've turned a corner. Well, not just the liquid foundation, the foundation in general. They came out with the stick one first, and I used that one. I actually really liked it. And I thought, ooh, so maybe they've turned a corner. Next launch, no, we went back to the same old, same old. Then they came out with the liquid foundation, and we thought, okay, maybe they're going to start being inclusive again. No. No. So every year they come out with the ambient lighting palettes, right? Every single year they come out, and they've been doing it for, I want to say, they've been doing it since, you know what? I don't remember. It might be like 2014 since they've been doing the ambient lighting palettes. But in any case, I purchased the first 3, and that was enough for me. Because they were ashy. They were, once again, for white people. So, yes. And so I was just like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. And then every year they come out with the same ashy ass palettes, and they always come out with 2, right? Am I wrong? They usually come out with 2 of them every year, right? So I was just like, okay, so I'm not doing this anymore. Let's just kiss Hourglass goodbye, because they're not trying to be inclusive. They're deliberately being non-inclusive, right? And it got to the point where the ambient lighting palettes were coming out, and it got to the point where even the white girls were like, can you please give us a darker palette? Because, you know, darker skinned people need to use these palettes as well. Like, darker skinned people deserve to experience these awesome powders, and they just wouldn't listen. But then this year, they came out with 2 palettes. I was on the Ulta website. Excuse me. It's been a trying morning of coughing. So they came out with 2 new palettes. I was on the Ulta website, and I saw both of them, and I said, wait a second. One of those looks like it would be darker skin friendly. So don't get me wrong. I didn't pay anything for it. Like I told you guys in the last video, I have a ton of points from Ulta. So they came out with 2 of them. They're both $80. I used points to get the darker one. And so it came in the mail. And so I'm going to we're both going to take a look at this palette today, because just to see if, just because it looks darker skin friendly, if it actually is darker skin friendly, we shall see. So another one of the things that had turned me off from the ambient lighting palettes, I think the last one I got was like this white, you know, if I can find the pictures, I'll put them up here, but it's been so long, those pictures are probably long gone, because I had done a review on them on my blog when I had the blog. I may still have the pictures, I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, so one of the things that had turned me off from getting subsequent palettes was the packaging, to me, started to look incredibly tacky. Not only did it start to look incredibly tacky, it started to be made out of plastic. And one of the things that I had originally liked about Hourglass when Hourglass first came on the scene was its packaging. Its packaging was very, if not luxury, then very, it was very sophisticated. It was very sophisticated. It was understated packaging. It was that weird blend of pewter and bronze. It was really pretty, and it was also quite weighty and heavy. And the subsequent palettes didn't feel like that, so I was just like, not here for that. But this year they went back to almost their same color. It's marbled. This is what the palette looks like on the outside, on the front. It is made of, this feels like aluminium. It is made of aluminium, and this is the second one. This is called the, I'll tell you in a minute, but anyway. So it comes with a magnetic closure. So it looks like this. And it's a pretty strong magnetic closure. The palette is quite weighty. I really like that about it. So I don't know anything about grammage and stuff like that. Other people can do that better than me. But for $80, you get, it says 1.4 grams times 4. So y'all can math that. This is called the Ambient Lighting Edit Universe Unlocked palette. It comes with, I believe it comes with 2 new blush shades. Anyway, let me just read stuff because, child. Available for the holiday season, Universe Unlocked features 2 best-selling and 3 brand new shades of ambient lighting powder. The groundbreaking finishing powder that recreates the most flattering light sources. Along with 2 existing shades, 1 finishing powder and 1 bronzer, it also includes 3 limited edition shades of blush and highlighter. The name Universe and the design of the palette are inspired by the unique swirl texture of the bronzer, which is handmade using an advanced micellar technique, meaning no two are exactly alike. Yeah. So that is one of the reasons why I had stopped also buying Hourglass powders. I don't like the micellar technique because, once again, no two are alike. So there is no guarantee that you're going to get a shade that is dark enough or has enough pigment for you to be able to use it, which is actually the case here with the bronzer. So I'll put a picture up here of what the bronzer looks like in the palette that is being showcased on the website. But this is the bronzer that I got right here. So these 2 shades are new apparently. So we have Rose Heat and Coral Flush, which is new. And then we have Solar Strobe Light, which is the highlighter. And then this is the bronzer that I'm probably not going to be able to use. And then this is the finishing powder in Radiant Light. One of the things also about Hourglass that I never cared for was, I don't know about anybody else, but their powders always looked ashy as hell on me. So I was just like, Anyway, I got this because I wanted to see if Hourglass actually listened to their consumers. I mean, their base is basically, I've already said it, so I don't need to go over it again. But like I said, even their base was like up in arms about the colors of the palettes at this point. So I guess they listened to their base and decided to go ahead and create powders that maybe anyone can wear. So the powders are very soft. Alright, so from top to bottom, this is the strobe powder, Solar Strobe. This is Coral Flush right here. This does have some gold reflex in it. This is Rose Heat. This is the finishing powder in Radiant Light. And as I suspected, this is the bronzer. Like, stop doing that, okay? Now, I'm going to play myself and go in with the bronzer, even though I know that it's not going to actually do anything. But I'm just doing it to illustrate how absolutely ridiculous doing this to a bronzer is. It is a very warm shade, extremely warm. This is what it looks like on my brush. That is what it looks like on my face. Absolutely nothing, but let's try to see if this is at least slightly buildable. One side of my face with the bronzer, and the other side without. Once again, the reason why I hate that whole Miss Clary thing is because you're basically getting, most of the time I have never gotten one of these Miss Clary powders, whether it was a blush or anything, that had more color than ambient lighting powder. So basically you buy something and you think that it's going to be one thing, and basically you're just getting another ambient lighting powder, because I've never ever, and I've bought blushes from them that were the Miss Clary thing, and I've never ever gotten one that was more pigment than ambient lighting powder. Anyway, this is what it looks like. Basically nothing, or at least I can't see it. If you guys can see it on screen, let me know in the comment section. But as far as I'm concerned, it's doing nothing. moving on. Okay, now let's try the bronzer. Not the bronzer, we just tried the bronzer. Now let's try the blushes. Now, part of the problem that people had with these palettes is that the pans are quite tiny, and it's very difficult to put your brush in one and not hit something else. I think the pans are slightly larger this year, just slightly, than they used to be, but still the issue, because when I was trying to put the blush on, the bronzer on this side, my brush, I don't know if you can see, hit the one of the blushes, the plum one, the plum, whatever, the rose one, hit the rose one, and you can see it right there. So anyway, we're just gonna go in, since we started over there unintentionally, we're gonna go in over there with the Rose Heat, and this is what Rose Heat looks like. Let's see how warm it is. Alright, so Rose Heat shows up quite nicely on my skin tone. It's not bad. It's a bit warm for me, but with that shade, for me anyway, that's to be expected. So that's not terrible. Alright, now we're going to try Coral Flesh on this side. And Coral Flesh, I'm not going to lie, it looks ashy as hell. Okay, so this is what Coral Flush looks like. This is more of a peachy coral, because like I can put it on and I can build it up, but then it disappears on me because it's peachy. So it's actually a better color for me, because it's so weird. Look, so let me, I'm getting other powders in there. So see, then I'll put it on, and then once I start to like try to blend it out, it just kind of goes away. But anyway, so this is nice. This is kind of really blendable. This one, I was really expecting it to look like that. Anyway, it's a, you know, Rose Heat. It's going to show up on me anyway. This one is actually really nice. This one would be, if it didn't disappear, if it was like a true coral, like a pink coral or something, this one would be really nice on me, because it is more cool toned than this one is. So children, it is hot and my hair don't like it. Actually, it's not hot. I'm just sweating from my scalp as usual. All right, so now I'm gonna actually go in with this highlighter, which looks like this. See what it looks like. Ooh. Okay. Not my kind of highlighter. It's very harsh to me, but at the same time, it can be shared out quite easily, so not too bad. It doesn't suck too much. No, it doesn't suck too much. Alright, it's okay, but it's also gold, so alright. Finally, we're going to go in with this finishing powder. What was the name of the finishing powder again? I completely forgot. Radiant Light. Alright, let's see what she looks like. Yo, I never really got the hype with these ambient lighting powders, because to me, like, they don't really do anything. They don't look like nothing, but okay. And as usual, it just makes me look ashy. I look ashy. It's emphasizing my peach fuzz. Alright friends, we are finished with this experiment. And what is the verdict? Well, Hourglass is still for white people. Sorry. It is. Alright, All right, let me be generous. Ooh, the powder, to me, the ambient lighting powder, I've never liked those powders. Like I said, I've always found them to look quite ashy on me. This one is no different. The blushes could have been great. The blushes could have been great for me. I think other people will like the blushes, but for me, they could have been great if, number one, this was a pink coral, not a peachy coral. This would have been great. And then if this wasn't so warm, it would have been wonderful. The highlighter is an okay highlighter. If you like blingy highlighter, you'll really like it because you can pack a lot of it on and it'll be quite blingy. If you like a more subdued highlighter, will also be great because you can sheer it out to pretty much anything. The bronzer is a loss because why would you do that? Why would you put a mascara bronzer in there knowing that you might not get any pigment at all? So basically this palette for me has 2 ambient lighting powders and 2 blushes and a highlighter. So that's what I got, right? Which is one of the reasons why I said I don't like the mascara technology, because you can't be assured that you're going, unless you're going to go into the store and open every single palette to make sure that the bronzer that you're getting has enough pigment. You can't be sure that you're going to get something that you'll be able to use successfully. And this is the case here with this one. Now overall, I think this was an interesting effort by Hourglass. It's been years in the asking. I am not grateful that after, what, 8 years you decided to go ahead and do this. For what? Grateful for what? Anyway, so it's an okay palette. I wouldn't encourage anybody my skin tone or darker to purchase it because let's just not support Hourglass. Let's just not. I'm sorry. I am actually going to return this and get my points back so that I can purchase something from a brand that I can actually support, because they don't have to be begged to be inclusive. So my thoughts on this palette: if you want it, go ahead and get it. Personally for me, it's not hitting. It's not giving what it was supposed to be given. I found too many of the powders a little bit just not up to snuff. Like, it's no reason for Hourglass to cost this much. They're not that good. Like, they really aren't. So that's my thoughts on that. And that's literally the only thing else that I have to say about it. It's just an okay palette. I don't think it's worth $80 for one. Is this big? But yeah, to me, it's just not worth it. It really isn't. But if you want to go ahead and get it, the blush is not bad. The strobe is not bad. The ambient lighting powders, I don't like them, like I said, because they always wind up making me look ashy. Not only do they wind up making me look ashy, all of Hourglass's powders emphasize texture. Like, every single one of their powders always, always, always emphasize my texture. Always. So, you know, that's it for me. Anyway, guys, I don't have anything else to say. Nothing coherent anyway. I don't care for this palette. Number one, because of Hourglass's history. Number one, I don't care for it. And number two, I think the palettes are, the color, I think the powders are mid at best. And I think the shades in this palette are mid at best. So I'm good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for my review on the Hourglass Universe Unlocked Edit palette. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section and I shall surely answer. But as usual, it's been real, it's been fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.